Hey everyone, today we're continuing on with unit rates, so let's go ahead and get started. Our warm-up says 4 gallons of gasoline costs $16.80. Based off of our discussion from yesterday, which question are you more likely to see? What is the price per gallon, or how many gallons per dollar? And why did you choose this option? So yesterday we discussed a lot and said that when we're setting up a table, we're most likely going to see our dollar signs on top and whatever unit we're trying to find on the bottom. We also found that the term for unit rate is that we're trying to find one of per unit. So in this case, I know I have $16.80 of gasoline and 4 gallons of gas. What I'm most likely trying to find here is how much is going to be 1 gallon of gas. Now, I'm not asking you to solve it, we just want to set it up. So in this case, the answer to our question would be A. What is the price per gallon? So what happens if it's more than one step? Yesterday, we just found out, what if we're looking for something per whatever? But what happens if we have to take it a step further? So let's say we're trying to buy oranges. 12 oranges cost $6, but you only want to buy 4 of them. How much is each orange going to cost? So we're used to find the unit of 1 orange, so we're going to have to take it a step further. So we're going to set it up with our money on top and our orange on bottom. We know we have 12 oranges and they cost $6. We want to find out how much is 4 oranges. So our first step is I'm going to figure out what is the easiest way to simplify this. And I know that I can get to 1. So for what I'm going to start with is I'm going to figure out how do I get from that 12 to 1. I don't want to divide all the way, so I'm going to take it baby steps. I'm going to divide my 12 by 6 because I know that 6 goes into both of these numbers very easily. 6 divided by 6 gives me 1. 12 divided by 6 gives me 2. Now, if I know that 2 oranges cost me $1 and I only want to buy 1 orange, I'm going to divide again by 2. And we know that half of $1 is going to give me 50 cents. So each orange is going to cost me 50 cents. But if I want to buy 4 of them, now we're going to have to take it a step further. I need to go from 1 orange to 4. So now I'm going to multiply. To get from 1 to 4, I'm multiplying by 4. And I'm going to do the same thing with my cost up top. I'm going to multiply my 50 cents times 4, which is going to give me $2. So 4 oranges is going to cost me $2. Our next example says you and 3 friends spend $72 on dinner. If you were to split the bill evenly, how much would each person have to pay? So reading this question, we're going to break it down piece by piece. First, the question itself is only asking us how much would each person have to pay. So we don't have to take that extra step. But we need to figure out what it's asking us. So first, we have how much money and you and the friends. Our problem says you and 3 friends, so yourself included and the 3 means that there are 4 people total. And you spend $72 on dinner. And again, our ultimate goal is to get to 1. If it's easiest, you can divide by 4 and find your answer. If you're not sure and you notice that both numbers are even, start by dividing both numbers by 2, which is what we're going to do. So I'm going to see how many times does 2 go into 72. 2 goes into 7 3 times. Take away a 6. I'm left with 12. 2 goes into 12 6 times. So I take away my 12 and I have 0. So 2 people would have to pay $36. To find out how much each of them are going to have to pay, I'm going to divide by 2 again. 36 divided by 2 is going to give me 18. So I know it's going to cost $18 per person. And sometimes you might not see the word per, you might see that little slash of a line. That just means per. So our answer would be $18 per person. Our next problem says Tracy went to the candy store in the mall and bought 6 pounds of candy worth $27. How much would she have to pay for 10 pounds of candy? So again, we're going to set it up. We've got our money up top. We have candy on the bottom. This is going to be a multi-step problem because we know it's not asking us for 1 pound of candy. We want to find 10. So for $27, she can get 6 pounds. We're just going to take it piece by piece now. I'm going to divide by 3 because I noticed that 27 isn't divisible by 2. So we're going to start by dividing by 3. 27 divided by 3 gives me 9. 6 divided by 3 gives me 2. Now you have a couple different options. Your first option would be, how much am I going to pay for 1 pound of candy? And in this case, if I divide by 2, for both of these numbers, 2 divided by 2 gives me 1, and 9 divided by 2 is going to give me $4.50. I know a lot of us try to stay away from decimals, so maybe there's another shortcut. In this case, she's trying to find 10 pounds of candy. So I'm going to put my 10 on the bottom, and I realize that if I found out how much 2 pounds of candy is, to go from 2 to 10, I can multiply by 5. That might be easier than dividing by 2 and then multiplying by 10, especially with a rational number. So in this case, I can say 2 times 5 is going to give me 10. So I'm going to take my 9 and multiply that by 5. Now if I do 9 times 5, I get 45. So 10 pounds of candy is going to cost $45. Now there are other ways to do that. I could find out how much 5 pounds of candy is to get to 10, or like I said earlier, you can divide by 2 to find the price of 1 pound of candy and then multiply that by 10. In this case, we just tried to avoid the rational numbers, so we found a whole number that could get us to 10 faster than multiplying a rational number. Our last example says Daniel buys 5 bags of chips for $12.50. If all bags of chips cost the same price, how many bags of chips can he buy for $30? So we're going to set this up as we always do. We have our money on top, and we have our chips on the bottom. Taking this one step at a time, we notice that it's $12.50 for 5 bags of chips. We want to find out how much he can buy for $30. So it might be easiest just to find how much is 1 bag of chips to start. So how many times can 5 go into $12.50? So 5 goes into $12.50. 5 goes into 12 2 times. Make sure we put our decimal point. 5 goes into 25 5 times. And 5 goes into 0 0 times. So for each bag of chips, we're going to pay $2.50. Now, we want to find out how much we can get for $30. So yes, we could find a way to multiply from 2.5 to 30, but like we did on the previous problem, let's try to find an easier way to get there. Even if it's something simple, like multiplying this by 2. If I do 1 times 2, 2 bags of chips is going to cost me $5. Now, there's a much easier way to get from 5 to 30, and that's by multiplying by 6. So I'm going to do the same thing with my 2 and multiply that number by 6. 2 times 6 gives me 12. So I can get 12 bags of chips for $30. And that's going to be our answer. And there are multiple different ways to get there, but as long as you get $30 and 12 bags of chips, you know you're in the right spot. That's all for today. Thanks for tuning in.